Welcome to Veranda CA. So next we are going to see the organizational structure and the strategic leadership that needs to be implemented, that needs to be exercised for effective implementation of the various strategies. So organizational structure, is it important? It's important for what purpose? It's important for many purposes. So we are not aware, or we are not, it has not been clearly seen, but the results are many. The structure, how it plays an important role in strategy, execution, implementation, and so on. So the need for organizational structure, it goes about creating an effective competitive advantage. So it matches the strategy with the structure. By this, you are able to create a competitive advantage, an edge over other firms in the market. And we are able to know the competitive landscape, the competitors, who are they, what are they into. So changes and complexity of today's competitive landscape requires us to effectively place a proper organizational structure. And rigidity, red tapeism, if there is very rigid structure, not easily flexible, adjustable, then it results in ineffective strategies or structures. And proper selection of the structure enables effective implementation of a strategy. Flexibility, innovative and creative approach is required to explore what is your core competent is all about. So organizational structure, the need are many, and when I said it needs to be, it cannot be very rigid, it has to be flexible. It should also accommodate a stable structure for daily operations. We are seeing a lot of virtual organizations. Today organizations are virtually placed, not the structure is somewhere not in your own country, because companies are having worldwide presence. So virtual organizations are into picture now, and we have members organizations. So members in the organization are having greater involvement in the participation of the day-to-day activities. So member ownership is what the norm is in today's organization. So these are the various reasons for which an organization structure is the need of the hour in ensuring effective implementation of the strategies chosen. What is this organizational structure? So structure is the skeleton or the framework. So it refers to the way tasks are divided up, how the work flows, how this flow is coordinated, and the forces and mechanisms that allow the coordination to occur. So it is the framework within which organization operate. It is like the outer framework, outer sketch within which organizations operate. Skeleton, it is the skeleton and later on becomes the engine. Okay, and the major goals, the major intention of a company, the formal configuration of the company's intended roles, procedure, who has to authorize, who has to command, who is under whom, all this is framed by the organization structure. Therefore, an organization with a structure which doesn't fit into the economic and business environment, differentiated from its core purpose, cannot exist for a long term. So structure is definitely important for effective strategy implementation. So we define a structure, we bring a structure into place after doing a SWOT analysis. The various corporate strategies is first set in place, and then we develop a competitive advantage. We know why we are better than our rivals, and then a structure is placed. Now such a chosen structure groups people. So it either groups people based on the function they are performing, groups people based on the products they are or service they are providing due to their duties, tasks and responsibility, as well as hierarchies of decision making. So when a structure, the structure's elements, so what are the elements, the reporting relationship, the procedures, when they are all properly aligned with one after another, then the structure will definitely help you for effective strategy implementation. Organization have to change and adopt to innovative and changing environment for effective strategy implementation. So we cannot still resort to our old structure models. So much of changes in the current world, we need to adapt to it. Structure shapes and influences the strategy definitely. So structure paving way for this strategy. So thus organizational structure and strategy are like two sides of the same coin. So the Chandler strategy as given, and shows the strategy and structure relationship. So he said whenever a new strategy is formulated, new strategy is placed. So corporate strategy is an ever continuing process, long term process. Every time a strategy is placed, a lot of administration issues crop up. New administrative problems come into place. Now organizational, due to these problems your performance declines. So in order to improve it, a structure needs to be established, and this when you are establishing a structure, a proper delegation is placed, a line of staff and authority is created, then your performance improves. Okay, so this is what has been given by Chandler. So as we see, change in structure should facilitate the strategy implementation and not change a bad strategy to a good. So structure should facilitate strategy. It should not turn a bad one into a good one. So when a firm changes its strategy, the structure undergoes many changes because too many levels of management comes ineffective. When the structure is ineffective, what are the various problems we will face? We are not sure to whom we are reporting, or too many people control us. Objectives are all set, we are not able to meet them. We are busy attending meetings, but work is on hold. So too much attention being directed towards solving the clashes, conflicts only, and work is on halt. So thus the most important concern in determining what type of structural changes are needed to implement the strategies and how these strategies can best be accomplished is what framed by Chandler. So for knowing that, we need to know the various organizational structures that are in place. Okay, the various organizational structures are simple, functional, divisional, multi-divisional, SBUs and so on. So let's see them one by one. A simple structure, we know this, a traditionally followed simple structure. There's a boss at the top and then employees working under him. Every employee will report to him. So no inter-departmental, no inter-employee communication. So whatever is good or bad, the end of the report, the monthly report, everything will be shared by with the owner. This is the most traditional structure that we know. Staff here are they are not taking any decisions. Okay, they are only serving as executors of the decisions which is taken by the original owner. So it is only suitable for a small firm. When there are many businesses, many products, you cannot resort to this. A small firm which is into single business strategy, only one product they are into, okay, this structure is okay, or they are serving only one market, no branches, then this is also suitable. Or which is focusing on reducing cost or serving a niche market, then this strategy is holding good. Features, not much specialization is required, few rules, less formalization, direct communication, so no leakage of information. Advantage, as we know, it is flexible, and you can easily communicate, you can easily get the right work, no filtration of messages or feedback, quick decision making. Definitely demerits are many. As your business grows, expand, it is not suitable, and more pressure on the owner managers due to lack of skill or experience or time. So everything depends on one single owner to whom you are reporting. If he is not efficient enough, the business doesn't flourish. Next, we have the functional structure. So we recognize there are many teams. Our organization has grown now, so we need many functional. So various functions we have discussed. So there is a requirement to place all the functions in your organization too. So in that case, there is a separate department for HR, finance and so on, and there will be a top MD or CEO, corporate staff, and then various functional level managers. So this we can easily see. So the top person being the CEO, then we have the major departments in any organization, HR, production, IT, finance and so on. So every one CEO but various sub functions and staffs under them. So there will be a manager, a junior level, a senior level and so on. Okay, so widely used structure in today's business, the functional structure. And advantages, specialization of labor, each department is managed by an expert. Yeah, there is a HR head, he is an expert, he is qualified, fit for the role. Efficient distribution of work through specialization. Top management provides the guidance, and there are heads under various departments to guide them. Also not much, many sub-classifications, so quick decision making. And when I come to disadvantages, the major other junior staffs are only executing, the accountability still lies on the top. Career development opportunities are low, okay, so this causes low employee morale. If the delegation of authority, poor delegation of authority, creating line and staff conflicts, then there is, so if the delegation of authority or work is not handled well, it causes their conflicts. And the CEO needs to integrate with all the various functions, okay. So this is, there are many disadvantages in this structure too. Then there came the need for divisional structures. So division, when I say division, divided based on the products they serve, based on the place they serve, markets. So divisional structures, most of the organizations follow this. So for example, we have electronic department separate division, mobile separate divisions. So we have LG refrigerator separate divisions, washing machine separate divisions. So based on the products, they are either divided or based on markets. So India, Asia, there is a separate division. We have American, another division for the other sector. Okay, so this divisional is either on product basis or market basis. So here every division will have their own staff. So for example, when I said Samsung, CEO is one, but then there is a division for electronics. So the electronic division is X, for example, it has its own R&D, marketing, finance. And mobile phone, Y, it has its own R&D. So the function gets repeated, the functional departments get repeated because the division is different, okay. And the types, as I said, it is either classified based on geographic area, Asian market, or South Asian market, or South Indian market, or American region, or either on products or services. So either, as I said, automobile industry, or whether for industrial purpose, consumer purpose. So and by customer. So banks use this. We have personal banking, we have retail banking, corporate banking. We have airline serving for passenger service or cargo service. So either divisional structure for based on consumers requirement, based on the customers, and by process also we have, okay, based on how it is performed. So divisional structure is created based on so many parameters. Advantages, yes, I have my own division, I know how much is allocated to me and I perform my activities based on that level. Leads to a competitive climate. So this personal banking, they want to outperform the corporate banking, or the premium segments, premium products need to outperform the normal category. So there is inter-competition is prevalent. So every organization strives to climb up the ladder, and more career development opportunities. So if you take from the economic point of view, there are more departments under each division, right? So lot of job opportunities are created. You can add any division further, easy to add businesses and products. Of course, when I say more, the higher more divisions and you have more departments, it is very costly process. Duplication of R&D needs to be here, and R&D needs, and R&D personnel needs to be there for another department or division also. So duplication of services, and not possible for, definitely not possible for small organization. You're not able to use the economies of scale, higher production, because each is classified into groups. So then came the need for multi-divisional. We popularly refer this fourth. We saw simple, functional, divisional. Now we are into multi-divisional. We refer this as M form. So if we see the structure, it is like an M. So each division represents a separate business to which the corporate officer delegates. The day-to-day operation is also delegated, okay, the corporate officer, and also the business unit strategy is delegated to the division managers. So the need is, costs were not allocated to individual products, so it was not possible to assess an individual's how much this product is actually contributing to my profit, overall profit. So there was a requirement to assess the cost and profitability division wise. So then came the M level form. So if you see this M, this picture, so it's like a top CEO is there, and then there comes a corporate R&D, all the major functions are there subclassified. Under them, Okay, under them I have various divisions. So I have a top R&D officer also, corporate level R&D manager is there, and division wise I have various other, there also I have an R&D. So this corporate level R&D, like there will be like a VP for R&D or a VP for finance will be there, who will coordinate with the various division. So this VP is also delegated with the day-to-day functions and also the long-term objective. So with each of the divisions, a VP of finance or the VP of R&D will coordinate with each of divisional R&D managers, this division R&D manager, that division R&D manager. So it basically takes the form of an M. Thus, it is a structure in which support functions are placed in self-contained divisions. Structures placed in self-contained divisions. So self-contained divisions are which is having its own set of support functions and controls its own value creation activities. So we saw various divisions under this form, right? So every division has its, so they are termed as self-contained divisions. They are having their own other functional areas under it. There is a corporate R&D manager and there are other functional managers too. So advantages: increase organizational effectiveness, control, tracking of profit and loss. I can easily track how much this product has contributed or what is it making loss. Control is there. Internal labor market. So there is excess capacity in this division, I will transfer him from here to another. Disadvantages: there may be corporate R&D and divisional level, right? There may be clash between them. Coordination problem definitely would exist. Communication problems. So then for larger organization, what came into picture was SBU structure. So strategic business unit structure. So each major of the products is divided into SBUs. So when companies or organization is into producing various products, various business segments, it is better to classify them as separate SBUs. So this is used by multi-product or multi-geographic area companies to manage effectively each of the product or a group of product by grouping into a manageable number of strategically related business unit. So related business units. So HUL has adopted the strategy. So it has for toiletries, one SBU is there, beverages, laundry. So they have for food one sector, one cosmetics, personal care, home care. So they based on that they have classified. So the SBUs are corporate level, the business is HUL, but then they have various brands. Okay, so SBU 1, SBU 2, SBU 3, as you see, one is for soaps, one may be for furniture, one may be for oil. So these are the various functional level, and each of which has all the major 5 departments. Soaps has all the 5 major departments, furniture has all the 5 major departments. Single business or a collection of related businesses are grouped together. So when I say soaps, it does not soaps, it also has liquid soaps that are added to it. So furniture, all types of furniture will be clubbed. So single business or a collection of related businesses are grouped together. Own competitors. So Lux and Dow, most of us wouldn't know it comes from HUL company. So has its own set of competitors. Each of the product will have a manager. Each of that SBU will have a manager who is responsible for their planning, strategic planning and profit and maximization. And this will help in comparison between the various divisions and improves the allocation of resources. So when I say SBU, the 3 levels are hitting upon. So there is a corporate level at the top, that's fixed. Then I have SBUs at the second level, and under the SBUs I have the functional level. So these are the 3 levels in an SBUs. And advantages, synergy benefits. So they are all combined, right? So you can utilize the expertise, the synergy, together the benefits are added. You can easily adapt to any changes in the environment. Accountability, each SBU is responsible for its own plan and strategy. So they are accountable for their own products. Possible comparison is made, monitoring of the performance and so on. Disadvantages, it creates various levels, additional SBUs are created, costly again, possible only for large organization, results in inconsistency of goals and difficult to define the role of managers. Then we have the matrix structure. So this is a little more complicated. So most of the software industries are into new projects every season. So they get a new project. So every time a new project is added, there is a horizontal layer which is getting added. So employees have two superiors here. Okay. So it is a combination of a vertical and a horizontal flow. So horizontal, new projects are added, there is a new level. Vertical flow, we already know R&D personnel, HR personnel and so on. So every employee will have a horizontal level manager to report and a vertical manager to report. So this project manager may be temporary. The project is over, he may be not there, a new project may come in. And also a permanent level is there, that is the home department, the functional manager. So combining vertical and horizontal is a matrix. Okay, if you can see from the figure, this is widely used in construction, healthcare, research and defense. If you can see the figure, this is the figure which shows the matrix structure. Top are the fixed positions, the major functional level strategies. Horizontally, we have for project A, for project B, for project C and so on. So for every project, there will be R&D group. Okay, there is a VP R&D. Apart from that, every project will have a different R&D group, different operation group and so on. Okay, so clarity is very clear. Okay, this project, this group has been formed, it is clear. And if once it is over, I can knock this out clearly, exactly. Shutting down is easy, encourages generation of new ideas, pooling of diverse talents. They have experience working in other projects that can be useful for business where resources are scarce. But disadvantages, very complex structure, horizontal, vertical combined, high cost, dual lines, you have to report to two people, there may be conflicts, clashes due to that and so on. Then came the most modern concept, the network structure. Not just in goods and service, not just in tangible goods industry, but also in service industry, network structure is possible. So we are remotely controlled by other organizations or parent organizations or other organization outside our country. So virtual organization, this is the key here. Very flexible. Network, when I say it's not, you don't have a defined structure. Okay, virtual elimination. By its virtual elimination of in-house business function, outsourced. Okay, so you are either controlled from outside or you have outsourced to somebody. Why do I have to retain a place there? My business is everywhere. So I am not possible to have an R&D there, have another department there. So I have outsourced. So the firm's business function is not located in a single building or area. Instead, they are scattered worldwide. Like most of the brands that we know are all worldwide. So there is a core company. Company is the hub. And when they have business worldwide, so they have outsourced some of their jobs to other parties. So accounts is done in a company provided by a company in the US. So you don't have your own accounting services. Outside, outsourced somewhere else. Transportation somewhere else, outsourced. Design, R&D, manufacturing, all provided by some other company outside your firm. So this is useful for unstable environment, very unstable products, you can use this. Innovation and quick response is possible. Yes, flexibility, of course, adaptability. And instead of focusing on all these major day-to-day activities, you can focus on building the core competence. It can focus on reaching out to the customers, maximizing their growth and so on. Yes, disadvantage, not much control. You have outsourced, it is provided by somebody else, you don't have a control over them ultimately. Synergy benefits cannot be used because you are not using your own resources. Okay, depends on how you have selected the other firm. More stress and low employee morale. So your own employees, there is less morale. The last structure which you are seeing is the hourglass structure. So we know the hourglass structure, the sand clock we properly refer as. So in the middle it is constrained, it is shrinked. So what is that? We have 3 layers, right? 3 levels we have in an hourglass. Also in a function, in an organization, we have 3 levels: corporate, middle and lower. So here the work of the middle level is constraint, is restricted. So, here the role played by the middle management is diminishing as the tasks performed by them are increasingly being replaced by the technological tools. So, they are just serving as a mediator or sometimes as just a facilitator between the top and the below. So, that can be replaced by various latest technology. So, their level, their scope of work is limited. So, the three levels that we know are top, middle and lower. Here the middle management is their role is diminishing. It is replaced by technological because owing to IT and other major advancements. So, this is the hourglass. The top level sets the goals, vision, so that is very essential. The task level is definitely important because they are ensuring implementation is taking place. Middle level is only a communicator. So, a generalist and not specialist who perform wide variety of tasks and coordinate diverse activity such as marketing and so on. So, advantages: reduced cost due to the narrow middle management level and increased responsiveness from lower level employee due to simplification of the decision making process. Disadvantages: promotional opportunities for the lower level employees are low, okay, because they are majorly into the task force. They will ensure they are into the task force and not much promotion will be given. So, they are encouraged to be at the same level. Monotony of work, loss of interest and so on are some of the disadvantages. So, these are the various structures first of all prevalent in an organization. So, based on the structure, I need to ensure I have proper strategy in place. So, I have seen from the various structures there is a top person, there is a personnel guiding the other staffs and so on. So, what does it require? The top personnel, in order to ensure implementation is done at a very good pace, done at the right in the right way it is required to. What needs to be ensured is leadership, a strategic leadership. A strategic leadership sets the firm's direction. What are the various responsibilities of a good leader? He is the one who is communicating the vision of future. Yes, and he is the one formulating the strategies. I know the internal work climate, I know the external work climate, and I am formulating the strategies in view of this. And if there is a change is required, I am bringing about the changes. Influences the staff in order to get the work done. So, an R&D head, whether it may be VP or a divisional manager head, he needs to ensure that the workers working under him are contributing to the strategy implementation. So, his leadership skills are very important for effective implementation. It enhances the prospects of long-term success while maintaining the short-term financial stability. So, a manager or leader should have the following qualities, such as he needs to be visionary, decision maker, yeah, he is the one deciding, culture builder, crisis solver and spokesperson. So, he is representing the whole group under him. Decision maker, crisis solver, visionary, culture builder. So, these are the various roles. So, what does he do? The major leadership roles of a strategic manager in pushing for good strategy execution are: he needs to monitor closely with the team. Maybe there may be many hurdles. He needs to see what are the hurdles, why is it a hindrance, and solve them. Okay, hindrance is solved. People need to work collaboratively in a coordinated manner. So, you need to promote the team spirit in a competent manner so that you ensure they are performing at a very high level. Yes, they are working. So, it's apart from the routine work, ensure they are innovatively working. So, fostering innovative ideas, quick to adapt any new changes or an opportunity has emerged. Apart from that, so you have ensured obstacles are resolved, team spirit is ensured, innovative ideas have come about, and then you need to be a good ethical leader, not against the ethics, not against the culture of your organization. So, also ensure your leadership is ethical enough so that they are also guided in the same way, and as the progress is happening, ensure that you have taken a review stage and any corrective action is required to be made, it has to be made at the right time. So, few of the most prominent leaders that we know: N.R. Narayan Murthy of Infosys, Ambani, Yeah, these are the most prominent leaders that we know from our own country. So how do I approach? There is any style, or is it a free way if I say? Theoretically, the leadership style is framed into two: transactional, transformational. Transactional, we know very well. It has to be done in the way. This is the rule. People need to work as per it. And transformational is just the opposite. Okay, so transformational leadership generally brings in a lot of enthusiasm among the employees. Yeah, so people are more involved. People need to be told why they are doing it and what is the end result, and they'll be also involved in its participation, ensuring the results are performed in the right manner. So this is appropriate for a turbulent environment. So if it is a stable environment, nothing much changes required to be made, but in cases of turbulent environment, transformational is a very good strategy. Okay, it is offering excitement, vision, intellectual stimulation and so on. Personally, employees are also feeling motivated and satisfied. Motivates followers to do dramatic changes in the performance and so on. Transactional, the opposite of it. So very rigid, not much changes can be made. They have set the rules and regulations, you need to go as per it. So it uses the authority of its office to exchange rewards such as pay and status. Basically, if you perform, we will pay you or we will punish you. So punishment and rewards, the major thing. They are all not involved in the decision making process. Okay, so it's like approach of a Hitler. So go as per this. There's nothing much change you can make to this. So this is actually appropriate for mature industries or which is growing, the growing phase industries. So such industries can adopt transactional leadership. So to ensure it is going at the same level and so on. It's a very formalized approach. So the leadership strategy is very important, and strategic leadership ensures effective implementation too. And apart from the leadership, the culture of the organization also plays an important role. So the strategy that you have adopted should be supportive, strategy supportive culture. So what is culture? Culture, we say India is full of cultures and tradition. It generally refers to the beliefs, values, the history that we've had all these years. Organization is also has its own culture. We refer that as corporate culture. Their beliefs, their history, their mode of getting work done, their beliefs, their sentiments and so on. Okay, their rules. So that is referred as corporate culture. So corporate culture distinguishes good one from a bad one, and it has a very powerful influence on how the manager needs to behave. So the corporate culture, he knows by his experience, by his knowledge, by the training given to him, he knows what's a culture, and that exerts influence over him. It determines the decisions taken by the managers about the relationship with the external environment and the various strategies it has placed. So Netflix is culture. So the employees working in their organization are of prime importance for them. So they say people are more important than the process that's involved. So that motivates, urges innovations and fosters loyalty and ownership among the various employees working under him, under the organization. So culture plays a very effective role in shaping the morale of any employee. So it can be a strength, also a weakness. By strength, we know culture facilitates proper communication, decision making, cooperation, commitment. So it's a strong point there. But as a weakness, the culture of an organization doesn't allow a strategy to get implemented. So can obstruct the smooth implementation of a strategy by creating a resistance to change. They have been following this for ages. Now, but the requirement in the industry is totally different, but they are finding it difficult to change to the new process. So culture cannot actually be changed. Culture needs to be maintained. It can be little adjusted because people will find it totally difficult to change to the newer environment. So also many subcultures prevail in an organization, then there is a clash. Okay, so culture promotes as a strength and weakness. We have seen how culture promotes better strategy execution. So we have a good fit culture. So strong culture promotes good strategy execution, and otherwise it's a vice versa. Culture is basically, as we know, it's grounded on values, norms, practices, and so on. So it energizes people to do their jobs in a strategy supportive manner. A culture which has creativity, embracing change, and challenges the status quo works in favor for successful execution of product innovation. So culture, you need to bring about a culture where you are able to listen to your employees, listening to your customers, encouraging them, motivating them, giving them decision making authority. So then it will all work for effective implementation. Promotes strong employee identification. So thus a good fit between culture and strategy will stimulate the employee to accept the challenge of realizing what is my company's vision. So my vision is that my employer has helped me in realizing that. So they'll also work towards contributing that and to do their jobs competently and with greater enthusiasm, and so that ensure an effective implementation of the chosen strategy. But when I say culture, we have been into this culture for a long time. Suddenly changing is quite difficult. So changing problem culture is very difficult because of the values we've had, the habits that we've had. So how intensive management action is required for it cannot be just done over a night or over a few days. It's a long process. So where unhealthy culture is there, replace it with a healthy one to root out certain unwanted cultural obstacles and instill strategy supportive ones. So steps in changing a problematic culture. Diagnose what is the need for a strategy supportive culture which supports a strategy. Find out what are they and what is not supporting them. You have to talk openly. Okay, talk openly about the need for such a change. Take up some aggressive action to modify the culture. Revise the existing policies, procedures, so that you can bring out the change and make changes in the incentive system. So everything is rewarded to some monetary benefits that they derive. So if you link it to the incentive system, they are also well motivated to bring in the change. When you're linking with pay, also recognize, reward them, and when you're rewarding it, visibly do it so that other people see, who display the new cultural traits. Recruit and hire new managers and employees who have the desired cultural values and can serve as role models for others. So when you're selecting managers, you need to employ such people who serve as a role model for the other. So we need to be like him. So replace the key executives who are strongly associated with the old culture. That's the most important step. Communicate the need for this change to the employees so that it benefits everybody. So get the support of the first line supervisors and employee union leaders. So if you make all this, you will definitely be able to change the culture. So we have seen the various structures. We have seen the leaders, the importance of leaders, strategic leadership in an organization, and as equivalently important, corporate culture is in any organization. If it is a bad one, it requires to be changed. And the last concept that we are going to see is about entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurship, the very common word these days, where people start a new business. They have conceived an innovative idea. They have come about with a new innovation, let it be a product, goods or service. They are taking all the risk to start up a new venture, employ more people, give jobs, seek profits, and survive in a long run. So entrepreneurship is an attitude of mind to seek opportunities, take risk, and derive benefits by starting and running a new venture. Okay, so it is definitely a risk-taking part. When I say I am starting a new business, it may work out to be a favorable one or an unfavorable one. So I definitely take a lot of risk, but if I succeed, I am going to be a tough competitor. So an entrepreneur is a person who searches for various business opportunities. He has identified, he has analyzed the market, and he has understood that there is a market for this particular product if I start one. So he has started his own new venture. He is a one who initiates and innovates a new concept, new product, new service, facing the risk, uncertain, very turbulent environment. Starting a new company, giving more value products to the service, he is a decision maker, responsible for his own, whether the company is making loss, it's his responsibility. Company making profit, it is again his added advantage. So it is under him. So he undertakes the various points that we had seen. But in contrast, we have another person called as an intrapreneur. We term it as an intrapreneur. Who is he? So he is also someone who is conceiving a new idea or something, but he is not taking a risky venture as compared to an entrepreneur. An intrapreneur is somebody who operates within an already established organization. So a founder of a new company is an entrepreneur. A person employed in this company to to bring about new ideas, innovation is referred as an intrapreneur. Okay, so Larry Page is an entrepreneur when it comes to Google. Okay, and then we have our own Sundar Pichai, who is an intrapreneur. So an employee of a large organization vested with the authority of initiating creativity and innovation. Bring about some creative features so that this product goes well in the market. So he will be given this role. He is an employee still, but he has to come about with innovative ideas. Entrepreneur came about with an extraordinary idea of starting this new business and so on. He is working under him to bring about new further ideas in this line of business. Okay. For him, it's not a risky venture, because profit or loss, he is not going to be affected. For him, defined salary he will get. Okay. And he is someone who is also risk taker only, but he is not fear of any failure. He is discovering new ideas, looking for new opportunities and so on. He gets recognition, reward for the success which he has achieved. If he is able to, that idea has worked out well, he will be rewarded in a right way. Okay, so large corporation appoint intrapreneur within the organization to bring operational excellence and gain competitive advantage in the market. So this is the major difference between an entrepreneur and an intrapreneur. So we have seen the major concepts such as structures, leadership, culture, and entrepreneur, intrapreneur. With this, we come to an end of chapter 7, organization, structure and strategic leadership. A quick marathon in this chapter, and thank you.